Welcome one, welcome all. I come to you today with good tidings. I have risen, not from the grave, but from the painful humiliation of a life lived in shadow. I rise today, bathed in the warmth of the sun, my body beaten and broken, but my spirit nigh invincible. After the pain of 400 years spent waiting, it is an honor to meet you, kindred. So, I think you'd all like to learn a little bit about me, so why don't we get started? I'm not terribly familiar with the slideshows that these other members of my gen have been doing, so I figured I would do something a little more my style. I'm sorry, I forgot to account for the location of chat. You guys are just gonna have to wait. So, my name is Vox Akuma, not Akuma. I pronounce it wrong myself sometimes, although you're welcome to pronounce it whichever way you'd like. It's a mixture of Latin and Japanese, which means voice demon, or voice of the devil. Rather, my followers called me that. I have no idea if I have a true name, but I do quite like this one. You're welcome, however, to just call me Vox. As for my age, I do struggle to recollect. Somewhere around the close of Sengoku, 400 years, perhaps it's many more. I don't think any of you are really ready to know the truth, and perhaps neither am I. One thing I am certain of, however, is that I would like for my birthday to share the birth of my clan, April the 25th. As a ruler, I think being born on the same day as my kingdom is quite fitting. I am 178 centimeters tall, or around 5'10". It's so odd. Having lived since the late 16th century, I used to be very tall at the time, but as the years went by, I kept getting outclassed by people as the years went on. The tallest samurai in my army was just about the same height as me, and now I'm to understand I'm somehow an average height. The perspective you gain after a few hundred years makes you think people are gonna shoot up around 200, 300 centimeters tall in the next few hundred years, so I hope I get to live long enough to see that as well. My species, I've come to be known as a demon. I resemble a man, as you can tell. I'm very sorry about the alerts. Let me move those. Should have thought this through a little bit further. I hate to say it's terribly out of character for me, but I am quite nervous, as you can probably tell. I've come to be known as a demon. I resemble a man, as you can see, but I don't age, and seem to have an uncanny knack for accruing followers. Perhaps you'll stick around and see if that holds true all those years later, Languages? At the moment, I only speak English, unfortunately. For whatever reason, even though my origin lies in Japan, I've lost my memory of that language, and to be honest with you, I'm not really sure why. I am learning to pick it back up, however. I'm making steady but slow progress while I focus on other things. In order to how to greet you or how to address you, you may be my followers or my subscribers, as I understand, but to me, you're my friends. I'd like to open these streams by calling a clan meeting to attention, and with a little luck, we might just be able to build another one. Listen. Everything I owned was burned to cinder by Tokugawa, and despite having outlived him by quite a margin, I'd like to assure you, I'm far from satisfied. He and his wealthy little clan have had the last laugh, and now that I'm alive, 400 years later, it's still ringing in my ears. While I've never been angrier, I've also never felt more possessed. I want to be the leader that so-called unifier wishes he could be. For that, I need you. I do hope that isn't too much to ask, but I don't think any of you are ones to shy away from a challenge, surely. You're my clanmates, after all, and I need strong soldiers. I should hope you aren't the type to go down easy. Oh, of course! You haven't seen the rest of me yet, have you? Why don't we take a look at my entire look? The belt as well, I think, is a very sweet expression of the species I hail from and how different it looks from myself. And this adorable little yokai, I understand that many have been asking what his name is, and I'm here to tell you the truth. His name is Onigiri. Isn't that sweet? I promise I'd never show favoritism among I promise I'd never show favoritism among members of my clan, but he is my right-hand man. Don't be jealous, I have room for a left one. Moving on. But of course, you can't skulk behind the scenes for hundreds of years without picking up a good few interests, hobbies, pet peeves, and so on. So as for what I like, oh, chat is over the top of that now. Goodness me, that's upsetting. Need to be able to read what I'm interested in. You guys can peep over the top. Cooking. I have an obsession with the culinary arts. Everything from new ways to prepare an old favorite to learning how to overcome